Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. I mean, I don't quite understand. I mean, football as a product is perfect as it is. I don't understand why people are trying to change it. I mean, it feels like the Super League all over again in terms of the rich trying to get richer. But the product, every 4 years, there was something special about that. Every 4 years with the Euros, there was always something special about this. And as soon as you start going every 2 years, you take a little bit of that bit of the special shine off it a little bit as well. And for clubs that have never been able to qualify or very rarely qualify for major competitions, that every 4 years, I mean, obviously no disrespect to Scotland, but being in the last Euros, that was so special to see them back in a major competition. But every 2 years, for me, is ridiculous. Okay, let me play devil's advocate. Ali, if there was more chance of you getting to a World Cup because it was every 2 years, would you be in favour of it for a country like Scotland?
But listen, the reason we got there the last time is because they're bending the rules to make it easier to qualify. It's getting harder not to qualify. Let's be honest about it. Playoffs between teams in second place and third best qualifiers and all that stuff. No, I hear what you're saying, and there's nothing makes me happier than watching Scotland at a major tournament. Back into the Euros was brilliant for everybody, for the country. It was fantastic. But come on, I mean, once every 4 years for the Euros, once every 4 years for World Cup, it's plenty. We've got a major tournament every 2 years, and that's enough for any football
Man,
fan.
woman or child.
Man, woman or child. That's exactly where I was going. I forgot the women and child part.
Well, let's try and balance it out a little bit and give some of the positives really that Arsene Wenger's come up with, because he sat down and had a really good think about this. It's in what's called a consultation process at the moment, with Gianni Infantino saying that FIFA are open to discussing every topic. They want to be an open house, so they don't want to shut things down, and they think that if an improvement can be made at football, they'll consider all the options basically, and if they don't think it's an improvement, then they won't. So a continental tournament every 2 years, the idea is that Arsene Wenger wants to scrap some of these meaningless games. If you think Andorra was a meaningless game, there'd be less of that because they would be doing pre-qualifying games, so you'd see less games that I suppose are supposedly easy
not dead rubbers, but in terms of
easy to win, and
yes,
a bit,
of course.
Well, you know, what do you get from them, sort of thing. The idea is to improve the level of football by having more frequent events. That's where he wants to go with it. The same number of matches as before, so no extra matches. He was asked the question about whether or not this feels like just a money-making scheme, and he said no, because FIFA will redistribute the money to all of the federations, so they're not going to be making any more money. There's no financial incentive for them.
Yeah, right.
Do you not believe that?
Yeah, not at all.
Players would go on international duty less often, apparently.
How does that work?
I knew you were going to ask me that question, and there's a really long answer to it that I'm not prepared to give you. Not because I don't want to give it to you, it's just that it would be... Well, I can try. It would just take me a long time, and I just think it would be a little bit boring. This is another question that was asked to him. Wouldn't the Super League be perfect in regard to that? So no, the Super League had the greatest disadvantage it could have had, in that it wasn't based on sporting merit. It depends on the prestige of the clubs and not on the performances. And this was basically asked after the question of whether or not you'd feel like it would lose some of its, I suppose, its shine, which is what you were talking about, Darren Bent. And Arsene Wenger was saying, look, it's the shine isn't on the frequency of the event, it should be on the quality of the event. So he's saying, look, if we had a World Cup every 2 years, but the quality was much higher, we would value it more than it being every 4 years with the lower quality.
I disagree with that totally.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ali.
Well, see if Harmy come on, for example, or Goffey, one of the boys, would it devalue the Ashes having it every year? Yes, it would. I think it's the same thing. We did have the Ashes every couple of years.
Even the Lions tour.
Absolutely. Correct.
Have the Lions tour every 2 years. It takes the shine off it.
100%. Bente, with you. No, yeah. We need to move on to another subject. Bente and I have sorted this one out.
You sure? Because I can go through what it would mean in terms of what you were asking, the questions about the actual games and stuff like that. But I do genuinely think that it's quite convoluted.
Every 2 years, honestly, it just, for me, if you have a competition every 2 years, as well as the Euros, it just becomes another tournament.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, it's something special. You think back to the last, 5 World Cups, you can kind of remember them because every 4 years you go, it was 2. Do you know what I mean? It's
special.
Special. Yeah. Every 2 years, as I said, it just becomes another tournament.
Yeah. 08717 223 The lines are open. If you want to have your say on this, you can. Give us a buzz. Would you back a World Cup every 2 years? What would the positives be, I suppose, of having it every 2 years, in your opinion?
Well, if you're a player, That's a positive because you could play in a major tournament every 2 years.
That's true, actually. So a World Cup every 2 years would mean that 9 chances of appearing at a tournament for Darren Bent during his career, right? That would have meant. I'm just saying.
Ali,
figured it out. Would have meant you might have been able to appear in 9 of them. We actually reached out to your former England manager, Sven-Göran Eriksson.
There we go.
And we asked him one question this morning: would 9 chances have helped Darren Bent get a call up for the World Cup?
No. Whatever you did it wrong. It was sometimes embarrassing.
Hello, darkness, my old
Wow. I mean, that's
Ali, what is going on there? And do you know what's funny? Look at them all laughing behind their glasses.
I know.
They're so pleased with themselves. Look
They are.
I'm pleased with you as well. That was exceptional.
The wee gang. The wee gang in there, Bent. That's so unfair.
I thought that was
very happy
cool,
with themselves.
How quickly have they done that? I've been sitting in the seat for like 11 minutes.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.